Scorpio, this is your tarot spread for the week of March 4th through 10th, and I don't know about you, but I'm over today, over the week already, and I already started your read, and then all hell broke loose, so maybe that's what's happening for you. Often enough, whatever's happening to a tarot reader, whatever they're in the middle of a read, things interrupt. Shit happens, whatever, it has something to do with your, the energy maybe surrounding you or whoever sees this. So, even if you're a cross watcher or you happen to be another sign, this is a different sign other than your sun, moon, or rising somewhere in your chart. This could help make some of that make sense because, dear God, we know that none of it makes sense on its own. So, since I already started this, some of your cards are here. This card, because I'm changing how I'm doing the weekly readings again, because it seems like every time I'm doing these, that's what happens. We've got the Six of Wands for your energy through everything. It's going to touch every part of your life somehow and may help you make things make a little bit more sense. But you're going to get a total of 5 cards. I'll explain them as I go through. Scorpio, you've got the Six of Wands for your general energy this week, and you're getting some kind of public recognition, and this is me. I'm paranoid, I'm negative, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's just being realistic, but every time I see this card, even if it's in the upright, you're at a position where people may have put you onto a pedestal or given you a boost somehow, or they feel like they have, even if they haven't, and this has been you working to put yourself here. Whatever progress it is that you're making, somebody else is likely going to try and take credit for helping you get there or for you being there. Like you wouldn't have been there without them putting in a good word or saying something to someone, making some kind of secret backroom deal that you're not allowed to know anything about. Don't trust them. Most likely they're just trying to see how much it is that they could get out of you, because even though there's a figure in the center on the white horse and he is carrying a victory pole, read into that what you may, I'm always more focused on the people in the background. Like, oh, that could have been me. Oh, well, they're only there because of XYZ and they didn't actually earn it. They didn't actually deserve it. You know, the normal crap that you hear people say whenever you have to advance. But stay in your self-confidence and keep progressing, because they're going to talk about you one way or the other, right? And I don't think Scorpios ever really have an issue with that unless they're having an extremely bad day and they're just overwhelmed by everything around them. And even then, you guys typically have a pretty good stance on being yes or no, black or white, and exactly why is that, and being a little bit confrontational without trying to be, without trying to put that out there. It's just very, to me, there's very much a direct communication byline that comes with a Scorpio that's refreshing compared to some of the other signs, because other signs want you to see it their way, and if you're not agreeing with them, well, then they're not going to have anything to do with you, and Scorpio is just going to take that information and do what they need to do, because they weren't waiting on the information. They already had made up their minds, and they know what's up. They already know what they're going to do, and they weren't waiting for permission from anybody. That being said, maybe that's just that you need a reminder about that you don't really need to worry about owing anybody anything for where it is that you're at. And this card is for your love, so just give me a minute on that one. But yeah, Scorpio, this is very much a, if it wasn't the right thing for you to do that, then why did you do it? If you helped me get here and that wasn't the right thing to do, if there was somebody better for the job, then why did you help me get there? Then you did the wrong thing, and that's on you. Not you, Scorpio, but the person who's trying to maybe hold this over you or insinuate that you owe them. You don't owe them anything. Especially if it was someone at work, they were doing their job, and if they were doing anything other than that, that's their fault. That's their cross to bear. It's not yours. Just do what you can there to do, obviously, and don't expect that you need to kiss anybody's ass in order to continue to progress, because I think this is really your work or whatever it is that you do speaks for itself, and I don't know, I kind of picture somebody trying to throw that insinuation out there like you're only there because of, or in that position because of somebody else, and taking favor on you for some maybe illicit reason, and like, okay, yeah, they earned that position, right? If you think my job is so easy, and then why haven't you been doing yours? That's really kind of how I see that coming off. If you think it's so easy, then why weren't you in this position before I was? And if you feel like everyone's out to get you or not going to put you in the position that you deserve to be in, why are you still here if you're so good at what you do? Oh, because you need this job and you can't get anywhere else because of whatever reason. And I'm not insinuating that you need to be that snarky or that, I don't know, maybe it's difficult, but that certainly could be something that you want to say this week. And as far as your love life goes for this week, if you are single or trying to reconnect with an ex, because this does look like someone who is kind of giving you, or you're giving this person a very decisive, I made the decision that I made for a reason, and regardless of what else is going on, my decision stands. And initially this comes off as an ex of yours maybe trying to reconnect with you, and you're not giving them an answer because you made your decision, or it's quite possible you might find a reason to, not find a reason, because I don't think you're really looking for a reason, Scorpio, but a reason comes up like you might need to talk to them about something, and everything being very cold, calculated, a very well placed dialogue between the two of you. And to me, that it's not really leaving any kind of discourse open for reconnecting or starting something up again. But it's not even business as usual, cold, calculated kind of conversation. It's almost like child support payments. You should already have your money. Do not call me again. There's no reason for you to call me directly. Everything is handled by the court. Goodbye. I will let our caseworker know that you contacted me directly. And it was inappropriate as far as our paperwork or whatever goes. So, outside of that, I want to say if you're single and you're trying to connect with someone, they're not interested, or you're not interested in someone that's trying to connect to you, and you may just be missing all the signs because they're not your type, they're not what you're looking for, in a significant other, and you may be missing a lot of signals that somebody's trying to throw in your direction. To the point where they are very, may even be kind of aggressively come at you somehow, like, are you interested in me or not? Or why don't you go out with me, or why don't you ask me out? Something like that. And why don't we ever do anything? And you're kind of thrown off guard by this direct communication because that's not how this person normally talks. They may rely on insinuation or something else, and that's where the issue's coming in at. So be prepared for that, especially if you're not looking for it. If you are currently in a relationship, um, someone may be hiding their emotions right now because they feel like they're going to be overly emotional and they don't want to bring up a subject that could end up opening a whole can of worms that neither of you want to deal with, which is why it hasn't been brought up yet. If you feel as though someone has closed themselves off or that you have closed yourself off to somebody else and they're acting odd because of that, it may be you that has to broach the subject, Scorpio, where you're much more, tell me what's going on so we can deal with it together and so we can be done with it, or um, I don't really see you hemming and hawing about anything. It's much more of a what's wrong, what's going on, what do we need to do, because you obviously can't handle it on your own. And I suggest you don't say that because that's just, yeah. But if you can't handle it on your own and you need my assistance, then let me know so we can deal with it together and get it done with. Because this attitude, this lack of communication is not working for either of us, and we need to do something because it's affecting the rest of our lives together. Okay, but for Scorpio, I'm sorry. Don't have a cigarette in about a week and I smoke one, and yeah. Or it seems like it's been a week, but. For your work life this week, I really feel as though you're taking emotion out of your workspace and just deciding to worry about how you feel about things. Um, if something is affecting you emotionally, I see you not dealing with it anymore. And if something is upsetting you, I think you're just going to be very nonchalant about it. Even though it may be affecting you in another way, it's almost as though you're trying to recalibrate how much emotional involvement you're allowing work to have from you, and it's an adjustment period for you. If you feel as though you were at one time able to express yourself creatively at work or try something else out, it's likely that another manager has come in and decided that we need to do things by the book in order to get our productivity up and in order to do what is it we need to do here. And that's going to take a little bit away from you, but it's almost as though it's going to help you section your life out more because you may have been actually giving more or too much of your energy to work and leaving not enough for yourself later on. But if that is what happens this week with work, it's almost going to be as if the managerial change is going to be a surprise, and sadly, it's almost as though you'll find out that the other manager was taking credit for what you were doing, and that may actually be a reason for their dismissal because they couldn't answer questions that you would know the answer to, but they didn't. As far as your long-term career this week, what kind of moves are going to be made that way, Scorpio? Let's see. Because if that has anything to say, it's likely that there's going to be some kind of movement for you in the future, but not yet. Yeah, I think you pulling back emotionally from this and not overreacting to what's obviously happened. It's almost as though someone above both you and your current manager saw what was going on. They could tell that the other manager wasn't, or the other person was taking work and ideas from you, but they couldn't prove that they were doing it. But they found some other kind of indiscrepancy in their paperwork or whatever to dismiss them. So you're going to be coming off as emotionally balanced and not overreacting to what happened here. And in the long run is going to end up making you look like a supportive leader who can go in and get the work done and not overreact to minor indiscretions, even if you feel like they affect you largely. Um, you're still coming off as though you have the ability to control yourself and not. I'm trying to think of a way to put this. Damn it. You still present yourself as almost calm, cool, collected, and you're there to do the work, and that's your main purpose at work is the work, and you try not to make anything too personal. So this is actually going, even though it seems like it's bad at the beginning or at the general gist of this, it may actually end up showing to be positive for you in the long run, because this event is almost going to be the main reason why you step into this position or start appearing that way, and it's going to be leading you towards a promotion. Now, whether or not you take it or not, you might not want to. But this energy isn't really going to be for this week, but it's how the energy of this week is making you look. If that made any kind of sense. This card is for your long-term goals because whatever your long-term goals in life are outside of work, whether it's relationship, work-related, or whatever, I feel like I'm rambling on endlessly with your reading, Scorpio. I'm sorry. We've got the Three of Wands, and you're playing it small right now because you feel like you're in a position where you can't really rely on your resources, which is why you're putting up with this crap at work. You're trying to figure out what you want to do and exactly how you want to do it, and every time that you start to amass your resources and do anything towards your personal goals, your personal long-term goals, something ends up being a kink in the works. Even though you thought it was going to be something to assist you to get somewhere. And I think that's also why this whole business with the ex might be coming up. With the Queen of Swords. So it's like, yeah, you're making 3 steps forward, but you're still taking 2 steps back because you have to keep cleaning up a mess that Other people were insistent on making and not cleaning up themselves, but you somehow either feel you're responsible for it or feel like you have to and able to be able to leave the situation cleanly. Well, Scorpio, I'm going to leave that right there for you guys for the week, and I hope to see you back. Please keep checking in on the dailies, and have a good week. As treacherous as it may seem from this reading, it does look like you will be making some long-term impact with how you handle some of the difficulties that you're facing right now, and even if other people have an issue with you advancing, I see you being able to restrain yourself from whacking them over the head with a stick that you carry. So, because they obviously can't handle being in that position themselves. If they could, they would be there, right? But have a good week, Scorpio, and I will see you next time.